Hey guys, thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Chris. I just got done watching Jojo Rabbit. And if you haven't heard about Jojo Rabbit, it is the latest film directed by Taika Waititi, the man responsible for movies like Thor Ragnarok, Where the Wilder People Are. Very talented man, and in this indie flick centered around World War II, we follow a boy named Jojo. Jojo is a young Nazi boy in training with ambitions to become the best Nazi possible, even having an imaginary friend, Hitler, played by Taika Waititi. However, Jojo will soon be faced with a dilemma when he finds out his mother, played by Scarlett Johansson, is harboring a young Jewish girl in their home. That's all pretty much said without giving any spoilers to you guys. This is a spoiler-free review. Now, I had the pleasure of seeing this movie about a month ago. A lot of people will be watching it right now at TIFF, the Toronto International Film Festival, but it was really refreshing because it's one of the rare times where I got to go into a movie without seeing any footage, knowing any details, and just going in completely blank. All I got was an email that said, "Would you like to see a movie directed by Taika Waititi, has Scarlett Johansson, oh, and Taika, he plays Hitler." You had me at Hitler. And walking out of the movie, it was a refreshing surprise from Taika Waititi. In the current era we live in, there are people trying to get offended by everything. And I say that because in my screening, 4 people walked out of this movie just because I guess they weren't expecting such Nazi influence in this film. But if you've seen the trailers, you know what you're going in for, and this movie is definitely a satire. It is parodying a horrible era of our time period, while still managing to pack a meaningful message that very much applies to our standards today, and not even speaking politically. But before getting into that though, I want to definitely praise Taika Waititi and his portrayal as Hitler. The man is hysterical and steals every little scene he's in when he's acting up as Hitler. Being the companion to Jojo, who just sees Hitler as his imaginary best friend, you definitely get the satirical elements. They're not hiding or influencing anything Nazi related, because Taika Waititi's character in this is definitely a portrayal of this naive little boy who's been told a million things and is then projected onto this character that definitely suits well with the movie they're going for. But not even Taika Waititi, because he is used sparingly throughout the film. So if you're going into this almost 2-hour movie expecting to see a lot of Taika as Hitler, you're not gonna get that. He's used when he's needed to lighten up some of the mood in this film, because it gets pretty serious. Again, giving props to Taika Waititi in managing to balance the absolutely hilarious humor in this movie and then going dark and serious pretty quick. Because I'll be honest, this movie packs a heartfelt punch that will probably get you tearing up, because I know I did. Scarlett Johansson as the mother does also a great job as being this charming, loving caretaker who also has this complexity to her that she's sending her son to this Nazi training camp, but at the same time is harboring a Jewish little girl and trying to hide it. But you do have a lot of other interesting actors involved in here that do their dues in this movie. Like Sam Rockwell, I absolutely love the man, and he gets his moments to shine where he's well used in the film. Rebel Wilson is in it, and she's more used for comedic purposes. If you like Rebel Wilson, you'll be happy with her. If you don't, I guess you'll be annoyed with her character a little bit in the movie. I found her tame and well suited in the tone that Taika Waititi was going for. But the one to me that rivals Taika Waititi's humorous performance in here is Jojo's little friend, Yorkie. This little kid is so funny, hilarious. I wish he was in it a little bit more, but I could have watched hours of this little kid on screen. When getting to more of the substance of the movie and Jojo realizing there's this little Jewish girl living in his house and he's been raised to believe all one way, is really the bone of this movie and would not work without the dialogue that is in here. Because this movie is a lot more of a slow burn. You have your laughs, you have your heartfelt moments, but it's a lot of people talking to each other and really slowing down the pace of the movie, and which might go to some of my negatives in here because it is a little uneven with the pacing. It does take quite a bit of while for the story to actually get going. It's a lot of setting up characters and situations and getting you used to this Taika Waititi World War II mode, but the things that ensue with the actual story really will interest you and get you thinking. I was coming here to laugh, and now I'm coming out of here with my mascara all over my face. I really do have a hard time of finding the things I didn't enjoy in this movie. Like I said, if you want to be offended, you'll just be offended, but the movie is very clearly a parody of a certain period in our time. It's not to be taken seriously. It's meant to be enjoyed and looked back on like, damn, glad things aren't like that now, right? So with Jojo Rabbit, I'm going to give action 2 stars in here. Being a war film, you will have some of your action scenes, and they are very stylized in slow-mo, mixed in with some music. Just not a lot of traditional action scenes that you would expect. Comedy in the movie, I'm going to give it 4 stars to, and that is mainly to Taika Waititi and his performance as Hitler. But then again, there are other characters in here that do get a lot of funny lines, especially Yorkie, Jojo's best friend in this movie. Drama in the film, I'm also give it 4 stars to, because he managed to deliver the humor and the more serious funniest moments that got me tearing up to think, wow, I was not expecting this in this movie. And that is a hard thing to balance. Horror in the movie, I'm gonna give it half a star to. That's because this movie does take seriously some of the more tragic things that happened back then. And even though it's not glorified in the movie, it has still definitely felt its presence when it's on screen. Suspense the film, I'm gonna give it 2.5 stars to. That mainly goes to that dragging pace I was telling you about, where it's a little uneven at times, but it's just that type of slow burning movie. Casual fans, I'm gonna give it a B+. Cinephiles, I'm gonna give it an A-. And critically, I'm going to give it an A-. For Taika Waititi's Jojo Rabbit, I recommend you buy this and add it to your collection at home.
That's a keeper.
But that's just my opinion on the film, guys. This movie has everything you want in a movie theater experience. It'll make you laugh, it'll make you cry, and you might leave the theater thinking about it days on in advance. So let me know if you guys are excited to see Jojo Rabbit. I think it comes out in October, so that's when you can check it out. Or if you'll just skip this one and wait for Taika Waititi's Thor, Love and Thunder. Anything and everything, you guys go ahead and let me know your thoughts down below. Be sure to like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at 3C Film Review. As always, I'm Chris. Take care.